shows that if you're in an overextended position where you have an anterior dump to the pelvic floor and an upward flare of the ribs, you can never really create that intra-abdominal pressure to stabilize the spine. Think about why this is a bad thing. If you have that rib flare, the diaphragm rides high, actually creates a lot of shear forces in our lower spine, namely L4, L5, S1, and that's where most people develop degenerative changes, disc herniations, and all that fun stuff. It's mainly because we're in that position and can't stabilize the front side of that spine. If we describe the correct neutral position and bracing technique, so I like to think of the core almost like a pressurized cylinder. So if you look at the picture, kind of like a Coke can. You think there's internal pressure on that Coke can going against all sides at once, providing that stable structure to that Coke can. If I were to stand on it, put it on that side, stand on it, it's stable with every position I put it in. Where, if I were to take that Coke can, let some of the pressure out, dent in the side a little bit, and try to put pressure on top, it's just going to crush. So you think about some of the bracing techniques that some people have come to me talking about, whether it's like drawing in the abdominal wall, that's similar to decreasing that stress on the Coke can, putting that dent in it and pushing down. We can never really create that stability. So I can say I was guilty of that early in my career, telling people to do that abdominal hollow. And some people that have come to me doing Pilates and things like that, that's how they're told to do it. So I've told people, well, get away from thinking about that, because it's really not a good way to provide structure to your core. To assume the correct position with the diaphragm and the pelvic floor, first thing I tell people to do is you need to perform a pelvic tilt. The hardest thing with most of my guys is to isolate just the pelvis, where if I say do a pelvic tilt, I usually get a whole body movement. It's very hard to isolate just the pelvis. So an easy cue that I can give to people, if you completely contract the glutes as hard as we can, that naturally sets myself in a correct posture, and then all I have to do is relax my glutes. So I've had the people say, well, I can't walk around like that all day. Well, I know that. But that's one of those things that you get it set first, and then you can relax a little bit, but don't lose that position. Second part to that is learning how to hide the rib cage. A lot of times we have that flare of the rib cage, and one of the hardest parts is to just get that down, again, without rounding the shoulders or trying to get a thoracic movement there. Easy way to cue that is if I let people exhale all the way, all the air out of the lungs, that naturally gets those ribs down. So if I do the glute squeeze, relax, full exhale, that gets me in my position, and I just have to learn how to hold that there and breathe correctly.